Okay, I am now recording, and unfortunately the record bar covers over most of the icons in Ancestry, which is not helpful, but I've added all of the records that apply to Ernest Scott Henley, and his wife, Lettie Byrd, is already in FamilySearch. So now we need to add him. And there are some tricks here, so I really want you to see how it is that we work this. So the first thing that you have to do in order to add a person over into FamilySearch is to click on FamilySearch logo here, the icon. Now, either of a couple of things are going to happen. Either he's not there and we're going to add him afresh, or he's already there and we need to add him to him. You see what I'm saying? We need to attach our version of him in Ancestry to the version that's on FamilySearch. There's a third thing that can happen though, and that is that when I click on that icon, multiple versions of the same guy are going to show up, in which case I have to write down all of their FamilySearch ID numbers. I have to go into FamilySearch, find one, and merge the rest of them in. And then once I have one guy who's Ernest Scott Henley, only then will I attach to FamilySearch all of the information that I have in Ancestry. So let's see what it is that happens when the logo is clicked. There we go. Haha, there is an Ernest Henley. And let's see, when we click on it, it shows everything that's there in his FamilySearch profile. Now, the father's name is right. The mother's name could be right. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a connect. And now they're connected. And we're going to take a look at it to make sure, because you can always disconnect. So we're going to view him on FamilySearch and see what's there. They were married in Alabama, and there is no information as to whether this is the right guy, except that in 1900, he's living in McLennan, Texas. That's not the right family. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to close him. We're going to go back over here, and we're going to disconnect. Now, we're going to try afresh. Now, you have to do this. It happens all the time. So we're going to make a new person. And it says here that it's going to add him to Lettie as a spouse. So that's good. Now, when it does this, it carries over every single one of the citations that are here. All of these citations that I've attached, they're here now. And the little green tree icon now has an arrow. And for Latter-day Saints, that means that he's ready for temple work. That doesn't apply to what we're doing here, but let's look at him now on FamilySearch and see what shows. Virginia, 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 hence good. Now this is the reason why we do not do our research on FamilySearch. We do it on Ancestry first. We establish where the person is from and all that kind of stuff. What if I had started to research Ernest Henley and I had picked up on Ernest Henley, who was, instead of being in Virginia his whole life, in fact, his parents were from Alabama and he lived in Texas. You see, those are two different people. This is how mistakes get made. When we attach all of the hints and we establish all of the facts of a person's life, ideally birth and death both, with the dates and the places, then the correct hints are pulled up here by FamilySearch. Otherwise, FamilySearch isn't as good at pulling up hints as Ancestry. That's just the way that it is. Now I'm going to close Lettie because Lettie has been updated. Now here's, okay, so here's this. We don't have any kids for them. The next thing to do would be to work the kids, okay? Now, the reason I want him in here is that he's married to Lettie. And the reason I want Lettie in here is that Lettie is part of the Byrd family tree. And we're working on Stephen Byrd, who is it Stephen Byrd? I can't even remember. Hang on. Raymond Byrd, who is a lynching victim. And so we're working and shrubbing out Raymond Byrd's family. So that's how you do that. And if there were a problem, say we added, what happened before was I added Lettie, and Ancestry said, you know, something might be wonky about this, check her relationships. And I checked, and sure enough, she had been added into outer space, and she hadn't been added to her parents who were already there waiting for her. So I had to come back into FamilySearch, find her dad, get hold of this, his FSID or FamilySearch ID number, and then click on it, copy it, and then when I went to her, I had to add him as parent, and it added both parents, both mom and dad, to Lettie, and so it linked her into the family. Adding over the data for an individual person is not sufficient. We have to make sure that all of those family ties are there. That's what makes it intricate, but it is also worthwhile. So I hope you enjoyed this little visit. And we will do this again soon because I have many more people to research. Oh, wait, there is one other thing I want to do. I want to add this photograph. This is how you add a photograph over. You can't add it from Ancestry, unfortunately. Come on, folks. Here we go. Oh, y'all, don't do this to me. View the profile image. Oh, Ancestry's messing with me. Well, if it were here and things were working properly, what we would do is I would download the image to my hard drive, and then I would go back in here and I would add it as a memory. Upload photo. And then I would click here and it would say add portrait, and I would say yes, and then it would say, are you adding one, you know, select one from the gallery, and then I would pick it from here and all would be great. But apparently Ancestry is not going to let us do that. Let me refresh once and see if it maybe acts a little bit nicer. No, doesn't look like it. There's a glitch. Well, Ancestry is always glitchy. That's not surprising, right? We'll try getting it from Lettie, but I don't think it's going to happen. There it is. We've got 3 photos for Lettie. Let me download. Isn't that a wonderful photograph? Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. So I'm going to download that to the desktop. Oh, and Brian originally shared this. Well, Brian is the one who's going to be interviewing me this weekend. He's my cousin, and he's also a chefy. He's part of this cousin network. So I'm just going to put it on the desktop. So there's Lettie Byrd and Ernest Henley, and then we're going to go to the other one. Here we go. Here's Lettie Byrd. Okay, it's another lovely photograph. Now what we're going to do is go back to Lettie. We're going to upload 2 photos. I had put them on my desktop. There we go. I'm uploading both of those. The first thing I want to do is give it a title while it's being scanned by the system to make sure that nothing naughty is happening. Wait, where's the title part? There we go. Okay, that's that. And that's probably their wedding photo. That's basically when people got their pictures taken. So here's Lettie. And I'm going to frame her face nicely. There she is. Let's see if it'll let me. Ah, there we go. Let's narrow that down a little bit. We're going to frame him nicely, and we're going to say he is Ernest Scott Henley. There you go. All right, now that's attached to both of them. And then I'm going to give this one its title as well. Okay, save it. And then we're going to click her. And we're going to build out a nice save. Now those are both there. And now both of these people can have a profile photograph. Now I don't know if it's going to let me. There we go. That's pretty. There she is, looking so pretty. So that's going to happen. Now we'll go back to details. And we're going to go to Ernest Henley, and we're going to give him a portrait, which is, of course, there you go. Now it's going to take a few minutes, but now anybody who wants to can still work all of these records within FamilySearch, and I strongly advise doing that, because if anybody challenges your work, they're not going to see all the evidence that they need to see if they're not looking at the Ancestry documentation. But the Ancestry sources, you can see where it says sources 13, it shows you the list. And it shows, you can go to the web page for each, but if you view the information about the source, you see that it says that it's on Ancestry. And then it gives all of the full citation and everything that you need, including the FHL microfilm, which is nice, but it's all there. All right, now I'm actually really done, 5 minutes after I said I was done. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will do more of these in the future if they're helpful. Okay, bye.